Hi, and welcome to the second part of the mouth movie. I have already gone in and I'm going to show you two channels, or three, I'm sorry, that I made, and I'm just going to click on them. I actually made one channel and I grabbed the above the mouth highlights, and how I did that was I made a very quick selection of the mouth area, and then I used that selection to create a new layer from the clicky copy, just the same way that I can go like this and grab the mouth area like this, okay, and just gather what I want through holding the shift key, or take away what I don't want by going to the option key. And you see how I grabbed that area right up here, and I actually made a selection. I clicked this on, which was the clicky copy. I hit Command J. Then I turned off this and turned on this, and then by making a selection of that area, then I can go grab these highlights right here. Now all I have to do is use Command L, and I can increase the contrast of those. I'm not looking to paint the color that I'm leveling off with levels. I'm looking to just grab the color. So if I make a selection of that and I ask color range to find me that color, then I'm just going to go right to that color, and you can see what color range is done. I can either make the selection more or less by editing the fuzziness, by just moving the fuzziness up and down the scale, and you can see what I've got here is a good selection for the highlights, both in the bottom of the mouth and the top of the mouth. Now let me throw that away because I don't need that anymore, and I don't need that selection because, let me turn off this and turn on that, because I already got three selections. Let me go down to the bottom and show you that I got this selection for the top of the mouth, this selection for the hairs and the little highlights underneath the mouth, and even though I got these that are way outside of here, I may not paint with those. I'm going to be painting with these, not filling with these, okay? And here's the other one, which is the highlights right over here on that side of the mouth. So I color ranged three things. See, I think that that's important to get there. I think that these are important to get. I think those are going to add to the texture of it when indeed I get all her freckles in there and she's going to look better. So now I'm going to show you the layer that I used and I painted with a light value. And now look at how, if I get close to that, let me turn that off and on, you can see just how much that gives the reality of what that painting is. Because the difference between Photoshop and I'm going to typically say that when somebody says your portrait looks photoshopped or the artwork was photoshopped, it's not a compliment, okay? And you don't want something to look photoshopped. You want it to look natural. Well, texture and pores of skin and imperfections are natural, so that's what you want to gather about you. So I went ahead and did a little bit of that on this layer, and then I added a layer mask to it to just kind of, you know, vignette it back. Now, just so you can see, I'm not going to do it all the way, but I'm adding a new layer, and I'm just going to put it right above that layer, and I'm going to make a selection of that one right there. I'm going to hold the shift key and make a selection of that one right there, and then I'm going to hold the shift key and make a selection of that one right there. Now, I probably shouldn't have done that one, so I'm going to hit Command H with that. You see the color that's in the foreground color? Let me hit the B key and zoom in, and I'll show you that. Look at how I can paint that very simply, just a couple of whiffs, and look at how I can paint that very simply. Now, I put it in here too much on purpose, and then I added a layer mask, and I just painted on the layer mask and painted that out. So that's basically how I did that, which is no big deal. And then I'm just going to turn it on. Now, I've created two above layers for any fixes that have to get done. Nothing is on layer 8 and 9 on the mouth area. Let me save the file. But on the bottom of the mouth folder, let me go down here, I've created small creases 1, 2, and 3 layers, because I want whatever I do outside to the left and to the right of her mouth, I want that to be underneath the mouth, so I can paint and not worry about getting the reds dirty or filled with skin tone, if you follow what I'm saying. So let me hit the small creases, and I've created a path for this, and you can see how I have a path for this. Now let me turn on the clicky copy, and I'm going to probably put the clicky copy down farther here so that I can at least get to the bottom of that. Now, my icons are getting so big on the screen that I'm going to go down to the panel options, and instead of having the large icon, as you can see here, I'm going to go to the medium icon so I can get to everything here. So now, I actually still can't get to that totally, but I kind of can. Let me move this up and then pull this down, and then I can get to everything, okay? So I have small creases, 1, 2. I should make them even smaller so I can get to them. And you just won't be able to see them as well on the screen. And I promise I'll change that in a bit. But let me go to the small icon, and now I can definitely get to everything on the screen, okay? Meaning I don't have to move up and down on the layer palette. So I want to turn on the clicky copy. I want you to see that this path was done in two ways. I went around here and got the larger one, which is this one. Then I got the smaller one, which was this one. And what I want to do is to use a mixture of both of them to paint. So I'm going to grab the larger one. I'm going to let Gaussian blur take care of it, but I'm getting the B key, and I'm going to grab that color that's right here. And remember, it's not going to look good until it is what? 70% completed or so. So let me go to the small creases now, hit Command H, and it's going to look too harsh at first when I paint that right there, and too harsh at first when I paint that right there. And then I'm going to have to actually go in and do whatever I need to do to that. I'm going to have to go to an above layer and actually fix that. And there's a chance that maybe this small creases layer should actually go up to the highest point, so I can actually marry it with the face. In fact, maybe I'll keep them up there. Now that I'm thinking of it, maybe I'll keep it up there and I'll just use layer masks. I'm going to keep them up there. I'm going to use layer masks to get rid of the color where I don't want it. And I can always move them down to the bottom, okay? So let's deselect. Let's go to filter and do our blurring, and let's see how we get on them. So that is 16.2, which I actually kind of like that. I kind of like that. Let's go a little bit less. Okay, and I am going to have to go lower than the mouth on one of them. So I'm going to put small creases number 3 below the mouth area, because I'm going to want to actually darken this plate. Look where I'm actually highlighting. I want to darken around here, which is around here, and I want to darken around here, and I'm going to need to go above and below the mouth in order to do that. But let's go ahead. Let me make sure Command H is not on anymore, which it's not, so I've deselected. Let me go to the small creases and add the layer mask that I need to have. And now let's paint on the layer mask, and let's get rid of this color on top. But let's just melt the edge of the mouth right into it. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the crease at the lower right-hand part of the screen. And look at how I'm actually helping that on this side. And let's go over here and help it on this side. Now, I think I need to go darken those areas behind the face, so behind the lips. So let me grab this tone here. Let's go down to the bottom area here. Let's make the brush bigger. And remember, I'm on a new layer. Okay, so if I don't like what I paint, I just get rid of it. And that's the beauty of painting. So let me Z back and grab the right color. So let me go to this darker color, and now let me hit the darker color a little bit harder here. Let's go over to here and grab this color and hit it a little harder here, and just see what I'm getting. Mouth area. Okay, that should be working. Let me grab this color here, right here, and let's go make it a little bit darker on purpose. And now I'm just going to feather that area and just get it a little darker around the mouth there, and a little darker. Let me grab this color that's around the mouth over here and make it a little bit darker on purpose. And now let's just make this just blend in a little bit better. I'll grab this color, and now I want to actually take this color here, and I want to start getting darker with that little portion of the face right there. And let me me see if I'm actually putting anything on my screen. Let's get a little darker with this. Okay, yeah, I'm getting darker. Okay, so, but I'm doing it beautifully and subtly. So let's go in and darken this a little bit. And let's make sure we're darkening this. Let me get smaller with my brush. Okay, now, let us use a little bit more tone in this. Let me go to small creases number 1, and I'm going to start to put in this darkness right here. That darkness is going to help me marry it with the other tones. So I need to go grab this darkness right there. If I turn on the clicky copy, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I need that darkness right by the lip, right there. So I've now got that darkness. Let me turn that on and click on small creases here. There's that small crease here. So this is above. Let me go make a selection of this. Make sure it's in the right place. So I'm going to go to the mouth horizon right there, and I need to make this a little bit deeper. I really don't have that done very nicely yet. I thought I did have that done. Oh, there it is right there. So there it is right there. Okay, I did have it. I just needed to go get it. So let me feather that already. Sometimes I can't remember what I've drawn and what I haven't drawn. Let's go here, and now let's close this and paint very small with a small brush. And now let's again grab this color that's right here or right here, and let me paint exactly where I see it. So let me zoom in, and let me paint it coming down like this. Thank gosh we have layer masks to work with. Let's go on this side and grab it and paint it exactly where I see it. So now let's add that to it. Let's get a little bit more there. That's pretty, and that's pretty. And now we need to feather it, and we need to add a little bit more dark on the top. So I'm going to actually hit Command H, move the selection down 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to grab this color right here, and I'm going to make it darker. Now let me hit Command H, make sure that my clicky is on, and let's get that color to go. Look at how dark it is, and look at how quickly it fades out to nothing, right? Or fades into the color that's around it. So I don't want to make this go farther, although I could eliminate that on a layer mask. Let's just go a little bit farther. Let me hit Command H and see where I am. That's perfect. And now let's come in here and turn this off. Okay, that looks good. I need to actually take this even farther. Whoops. I need to take this even farther this way. Okay, that looks good. Let me now turn this off and on. When you are painting subtle detail, you have to get closer. So, okay, I've obviously gone too far with that, which is not a big deal because I can remove it on a layer mask. Let me see how far that comes in. Okay, I need to get a little bit darker with it, so I'm going to hit the red dark now. Make it even blacker. Let me come through here now and make this come right in here. Okay, now let's deselect, add a layer mask to number 2, and let me see what I have to take away. So now obviously I'm going to come up here and I'm going to take this away here. Oops, painting with white, it's not doing anything. And now let's come in here, and now let's subtly remove this. At 5%, we have all the power in the world to remove. Would you please, when you're painting your detail like I am, would you take care and character to do it? Meaning, don't hurry the process and let Photoshop and the manipulation of layer masks work for you. But it's these subtle elements that are adding the natural feel here. Now, she needs a little bit more darkness coming down. So I either add it to the layer below, or I add it to small creases, or I add it to one underneath small creases. So I'm going to go Command C on small creases, Command V, number 4, and I'm going to paint freehanded. So I'm underneath all this stuff, right? So let me click, and let's go grab this color right here with a brush not too big. Turn off the clicky copy, and I want to look down here, and I want to actually increase this darkness on the bottom. on the outside. So now I'm going to bring back this lighter value right here. Don't want to go too far with that lighter value, but it is definitely there, and it is definitely helping what I'm doing right there. Now let's look at that. Now let's bring the lighter value that's on top in the pink. Let's come on top and let's add that lighter value right in there. Okay, a little bit bigger brush. Okay, now let's look at it. Okay, that's working on that side. Let's see on this side what I need to do. Let's grab that color and put it on top. I was making sure that I didn't have a Command H, a selection active. All right, I want to grab this color right here, and I want to have it come a little closer to my girl's crease. So let's just have it come a little closer, like this. Now let's look at it. Whoops, I turned off the wrong thing. Let's now look at it, and let's make it smaller. I want that color to be brighter. Let me grab the brighter one. There, that's working. Okay, now let's look at it. And I think I now need to kill what I did. But instead of killing it on a layer mask, I think I'm just going to grab the paint and just paint on top and have this be a true fixed layer, meaning it just allows for a little bit more freedom in the painting process. Now, I think I need to go darker right underneath the lips. So I want to find what layer this is on right here. So let me save the file, hit the V key, right-hand click, and it's dark below mouth. Now I'm going to go down to dark below mouth, click on it, and now I'm going to go grab this color right here, and I'm going to get slightly darker with it. See what I'm doing on a neutral side. And then I just want to increase it a little bit underneath here. So I'm painting on the correct layer. Let's get a little bit darker even here. And let me make sure it's going on there. Yes, it's just going on there very gently, and that's actually what I want. So let's come across here. Let's come across here. Let's just hit it a little harder like this. Don't want to make her look like she has whiskers, but it is what it is. That is what is there. So let's come across here. Let's make the brush bigger. Let me turn on the clicky copy. This is the subtle painting that is going to be the difference between yours looking good and yours looking hurried. Okay, so I have now got the mouth area looking pretty good. Let's now see what that looks like when I turn the clicky copy on. And it might be time to actually have me start putting in the freckles and start just to see what the texture looks like on top. So I'm going to save the file. I really don't know how much I've done as far as movie 10 goes, but I think I'm going to stop because the mouth area is just about there. With the highlights, let me make sure my highlights are on. Did I turn anything off that isn't supposed to be off? Okay, I think I'm okay, and let me move the clipping mask out of the mouth area. Let's close the mouth area, and let me turn off that, and now there is my mouth area, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to hit save, and I want you to come back, and we are going to start on the texture of the face, even before I get going into the hair. And I definitely have, look, there's more painting around the eyes to do, but that can be on a freehand layer. Once the texture's in there, I'll know how much to really make this thing, how much I'm going to need. Okay, so let me turn on the whole shot of this, and let me go see what that looks like if I turn on the bottom here. Okay, and let me turn on the white background again. I don't need this on, so I'm going to turn off layer 37, which is the mouth area, and I'll see you on the next movie.